Morning all. Hope you guys are able to hear me and able to see the screen which I'm sharing, right? Can someone please confirm?
Sorry,
Okay.
able to hear your voice? Yeah, able to see your screen.
Oh, fine. So hope all you guys joined in the previous demo sessions, right? So this class is a new. Hope all three members joined from demo class onwards, right? So I think someone art 4407. I don't know the name there.
It's me, Sir Sapna.
Oh, this is the first class for you, or have you joined in the
Yeah,
before?
yeah, yeah, it's a first class.
Okay, fine. So in first 5 minutes, let's see what the things you guys are going to learn in this course that you have taken recently, right? So maybe you may see some recordings of the demo sessions. If not, please
Yeah,
concentrate on first 5 minutes that what we are going to learn in the course, and we'll move to the some concepts. Some concepts. Okay.
yeah, sure.
So I already yeah. Okay. I already explained you what are the topics are going to be covered in both manual and automation testing and what tools is covered and what are the advantages we have through this course and how much the duration is there this course. Everything is clearly explained in the previous demo sessions. But as you join newly, just see high level syllabus explanation. We have two parts mainly manual testing and automation testing. Okay, so in manual testing, we are going to see one project. In automation testing, we are going to see one project. Total two projects we are going to learn in this project. Coming to the manual testing, again, it was split into the two parts. First one is about the UA testing, and second one is about the API testing. UA testing is all about that where we learn some SDLC models, black box and white box testing, system testing, levels of testing, error, bug, failure. What is the difference between the product and project, and what is meant by QA, QC, QE, and what is the difference between smoke and sanity testing, and what is the difference between retesting and regression testing? And what is meant by bug life cycle? And what are the test design techniques we have? Test design techniques means as a manual tester, you should be responsible to write the test cases, right? So how can we write the test cases? With the help of the techniques. And next, traceability matrix to trace the features current state. Okay. And types of testings we have severity, priority, bug gaze, what is software testing life cycle, test report, a retro meeting, and then we have the test trial, Jira, and project for UA testing. These are the concepts which we are going to learn in the UA testing. And coming to the API testing, we just discussed about only the manual API testing, not automation. Please be note this point. And introduction to the API. API is nothing but application programming interface. And what are the API methods we have, like get, put, we have few methods, right? So that we are going to discuss. And the difference between the API versus web services. As a part of manual API, we are going to explore the Postman application. So how can we check the responses of the Git and all those points? And next we can see the API validations through the Postman. So we can validate the few calls by taking from dummy applications and we can work on it. This is all about the manual testing part. And coming to the automation, there we are going to learn few tools as like a programming language Java we are going to learn. And next we are going to learn GitHub. I will tell here clearly. Let me go back. Yeah, no, this I think I haven't written here. Yeah, yeah. If you see here, coming to the automation part, tool we are going to learn. We have different tools in the market: Selenium, WebDriver, Cypress, Playwright. We have many things. But in the current course, we are going to learn the Selenium because it was using widely in the market. And editor we are going to learn is Eclipse. We have many Eclipse, Visual Studio, NetBeans, IntelliJ. We have many things. But in this course, we are going to learn the Eclipse. Okay. And next one is programming. Programming is Java. We are going to learn the Java programming and we have a build tool which is call it as a Maven, and we have a version control system which is call it as a Git where we can push and pull code into the single place because many people are working on the code, right? So all codes together will be stored in a single place, that is called as a central repository system. Okay, so we have GitHub, Bitbucket, JFrog, many things we have. We are going to store it in the GitHub in this project. Frameworks, we have Test Engine, Cucumber, and we can use any of the framework and we can do the project on the Slack side. This is all about the automation part. Course timing, initially we planned to the 7 to 8 a.m. As per the students' request, we just moved it into the 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. It's only on weekdays. No classes are there on the weekends. Okay. And what are the additional advantages of the course we have? So recording sessions for the every class, and then we have the mock interviews if you are interested, and well-structured documents are going to be shared once the WhatsApp groups are created to you, and we'll tell you how to prepare the resumes, cover letters if you are applying outside the country, and how to apply for the jobs in the job portals like LinkedIn and Naukri, and how to search if the openings are there in the company or not. These are the few points we are going to discuss in the advantages. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, that every day you will get the recording of the session which is shared by the institute. Okay, so on the day itself they will share it. It will be have access for 1 month, I think seems. If you want for lifetime, you can download and save it in your local device. It will give you lifetime tracking for the recording videos. Okay, so let's get into the topic. Hope you clear about the syllabus, HART 4407, right?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. So from next class onwards, it's better if you, is it your name that HART 4407?
No, no, no. I did course with Harsha. So that is my ID with the Harsha training.
Okay, fine, fine. No worries. May I know
So
your
my
name?
name is Sapna.
Okay, fine. Cool. So let me start the session. That what are the topics we discussed in the previous class? Kashyap, Akila, which we discussed on the Monday.
Difference between a bug effect and failure. These topics and project versus product, and why do you need testing? These topics and why the software has bugs.
Yeah. We have discussed the different topics on the Monday, as like that what is meant by software and how many sort types of softwares we have. Software is nothing but set of programs. Program is nothing but set of instructions. And what is the difference between project and product? Project is nothing but it will design for the single customer. Product is nothing but they will design a product and will sell to the multiple customers. Is called it as a product. And why do we need a testing? To provide a quality product to the customer. And what is the error bug failure difference? Error is nothing but it's a human mistake. Bug is nothing but deviation from the actual output. Failure is nothing but the bug which is found by the end users after product went to the line. That is called failure. Why the software has bug? Because of the miscommunication between the developers and testers and lack of skilled testers. These are the major reasons what we discussed in the previous class. Right? Let's jump on to the next topics. So next topics is all about that what is meant by software development lifecycle and their models. We already discussed about what is meant by software development lifecycle, and again we can discuss today. And today we are going to discuss any of the one model. Either it may be waterfall model or spiral model. We'll go with one model. Okay, as I already told that the classes will be slow for this week because slow is nothing but we are going to give insights on small topics because as new students are getting joined, right? So they missed more concepts. That's the reason a small concepts are going to be covered. Like for example, if it is a normal class, I will cover both waterfall and spiral model in a single class, right? But here today we are going to cover only waterfall model because the new students are getting joined. Let's see for this week as how many students are getting joined. So if the students count is stopped by this like 3 or 4 and 5, so we can take continuous sessions from the Monday. Okay, so as of now just see the concepts which I am going to discuss in the class. From Monday onwards the 60-minute sessions will be there. Okay, so for this week we have only 45 minutes or 40-minute sessions. From next week onwards we are going to have a complete and full length sessions. Okay, so let's go to the session. So I already discussed the software development lifecycle, right? So can someone explain what is meant by software development lifecycle and why we are using? Can someone tell what is meant by software development lifecycle, guys, which we discussed in the previous classes? Forgot?
SDLC means we have, I mean, there are different phases in which used for development and a particular and design a particular software.
Okay,
There will be like different phases in SDLC, like uh, we have design, build, test, and deployment like that. We have different phases like that.
okay. Okay. So here the name itself we are having the meaning that software development lifecycle. So what is meant by software development lifecycle? It clearly shows that we are going to discuss about the life cycle of the software development. So like how the human life cycle we have that we born, we have some state, right? Like newborn baby and then child and then teenager and then we have some what I can say some life cycle for the human being, right? In similar kind that we have life cycle for software development software also. Okay, so it's a procedure to develop a software and it's a process of creating a system or software or product, some other things what we have, and by using models and methodologies that people use to develop these systems. Will believe, guys, by using these models we can easily develop the systems that we can say that software development life cycles, and any SDLC should result in the high quality system that meets exceed customer expectation. So how can we select that model? How can we select that model? So here we can see that what we can see, we have different models, right? Waterfall model, spiral model, and V model. We have many models, right? So we have to choose the best one. Few projects will suits for few models. So you may have doubts of how can we choose that whether that particular model is fit to the particular project. You should be aware about the pros and cons of the project. Okay, if you are aware about the pros and cons of the particular model, then you can easily choose the model for the particular project. So how you can choose here? SDLC models are two types mainly. First one is sequential model and second one is iterative model. Okay, so today we are going to see about the sequential model, that too waterfall model. Waterfall model is nothing but name itself we are having here, it is a waterfall model. Waterfall model is nothing but as like a water falling, the process is falling from top to bottom, right? So you can see the few points that waterfall model is a traditional model, it's a old model. And next one is it's a sequential design process. Sequential design process is nothing but what are the phases we have in the software development life cycle: requirement gathering or collection, feasibility study, design, coding, testing, deployment or installation, and then maintenance. These are the seven states what we have, right? Exactly, these are the seven states what we have. So whenever we are testing, we have to follow the sequence process of these steps that we have: requirement gathering or collection, feasibility study, design, coding, testing, installation, maintenance. And whenever we are following this sequence from top to bottom, let's assume that it says a waterfall. Whenever you are seeing the waterfall, water is falling from top to bottom, right? For example, the water is falling from this first step to second step to third step to fourth step, like, and last step it will fall. So the major disadvantage of this one is once the water falls from this first step to second step, is it possible to go back to the first step? It's not possible to revert that water back to the previous step, right? In similar kind, once you are done with the requirement collection and you came back to the feasibility, and then we come to the design, and then we come to the testing. So whenever you come to the coding, you have new changes in the requirement, you want to do some changes on the requirement. So now the water is there in this stage. Okay, it's not possible to revert back to this stage. And similarly, once you are came to the coding phase, it's not possible to come back to the previous step. That will be the drawback of the waterfall model. Okay, so you may have doubts, sir, how can we do if you have new changes there? If it's not possible, you have to do from start again. Again, you have to do the requirement collection. Again, you have to do the feasibility study. Again, you have to do the design, and then we'll come to the code. So it was a typical process and time wasting process and resource and money and anything. Everything is waste. So if you have the frequent change in the requirement, then we are going to use the Agile methodology. If the requirements are fixed, then we can use the waterfall model or V model, whatever you want. Okay, but the requirements are not fixed, it's changed frequently, like a Zomato. Now it is Dasara, right? So Zomato is offering some offers that if you bought order a food greater than 500 rupees, you will get a coupon of 15 rupees worth. That is one of the advertisement need to be added in the Zomato application 10 days before, right? So it's a one of the feature or requirement change to the Zomato company. Okay, so the frequently changes will be there for the requirements. Then you won't use the waterfall model. If you have a fixed requirements that you don't change later, then you can use the waterfall model. Okay,
Uh,
so here you
Sir,
can
I
see.
have a
Who will?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is the tester only will going to do the all the requirement collection and all everything, or
No, no, tester alone can't do all those things. Just listen
yeah.
here. So, who will do the requirement analysis? Who will do the
Okay.
feasibility study? I am explaining that only now. So, if you
Okay.
see
Thank
here,
you.
who will do the requirement collection? A requirement collection is done by the business analyst and product analyst. Okay. So, because they are the people who are going to collect the requirements from the customer to check it. Okay. So, they can gather the requirements and translate the business language into the software language. They can translate the business language into the software language. For example, let us consider the example of the banking software. So I am the person, I want to create a bank which is named as a Harsha Banking Private Limited. So I want to start a business that HTPL, like Harsha Training Private Bank, somewhat like HBPL. Okay, I want to create a bank. So now I need a software. So I need to tell my requirements to the business analyst first. So business analyst or product owner or both are the persons who are gathering the requirements. Okay. So once they're gathering the requirements, we are going to check the feasibility. How can we check the feasibility? Done by the software team consists of project managers, business analysts, architects, finance, and HR. You may have doubts, sir, why these many members are required to do the feasibility. Feasibility means whether they are capable to do the project or not. So further, the project manager is sure that this is the person who can manage all the people once the project is accepted, right? The project manager should be there. And next one is business analyst should be there because he is the only person who knows the requirements of the customer. And architect should be there because that's the person who tells us to choose the technology, which technology suits for this project. Finance is nothing but that finance person should be there, that how much amount is required to complete that project. And HR should be required that how many resources are required for the particular project. So human resource is required. So that's the major reason why these people are involved into the feasibility study. Project manager, business analyst, architecture, finance, HR, developer, all people are required to check the feasibility. Okay, so same concepts will be there. Technical feasibility means architect will take, finance feasibility finance will take, resource feasibility will take care of by the HRs. Okay, now we are done with the requirement gathering and feasibility study. Once requirement gathering feasibility study is done, we are came to the design part. Design, again we have high level design and low level design. Okay, so what is meant by high level design and what is meant by low level design? High level design is nothing but on surface they can show it how it looks like that application. As like for example, if you take an apartment, okay, if you are planning to buy any apartment which is under construction, what that builder will do, that builder will show you how that apartment elevation and apartment will outer part will looks like, right? That is called high level design. Low level design is nothing but that apartment interior and outerior look like that, what is the size of the hall, what is the size of the bedrooms, and everything is clearly given, right? So that is nothing but low level design. It was done by the senior developers. It describes how each and every feature should work. Okay, that is called low level design. So once we are done with the design, what is the next part? Coding is nothing but all the developers will be included here and they start developing a features in the product. That is called coding. Once the coding is done, then we came to here. Then our work will come to the picture here, that will done by the test engineers. It is a process of checking for all defects and rectifying it. We need to check the bugs and we need to rectify it. That's it. Testing means. And installation means done by the installation engineers to install the product at a client's place for using after the software has been developed and tested. For example, consider the example of a software to be developed and installed at Reliance Mart. For example, if you take any of the software which was there in the shopping marts like Reliance and D-Mart, right? You have some softwares while giving the bills, right? So those are the example for it here. And next one is maintenance. Maintenance means here as the customer use a product, he finds certain bugs and defects and sends a product back for error correction and bug fixing. So once the product went to the live, we have few bugs and we have few requirement changes for the customer, right? Whenever there are some requirement changes and that errors which is found by the end users, so they are going to send that application back to rectify and correct that bugs. Okay, so if it is a bug, then there will be a loss to the business, right? Some bug fixes taking place, minor changes taking place, and deleting and modifying any small features in the software product. And 100% testing won't be not possible to anyone. Even if you are God, also it's not possible, right? So as all you are humans, 100% testing won't be possible. You may forget and you may miss one or two things, which is corner cases, right? So this is all about the waterfall model. If you see some diagram here, that how that water falls from top to bottom. Okay, that's why the diagram shows like this here. And here if you see that when to use the SDLC waterfall model, just see these points for 2 to 3 minutes and we'll explain each and every point. Now it was 8-3. Take 2 to 3 minutes of time and read all these points and I will explain each and every point after that. Okay, guys. So hope you have gone through the points, right? So if you see here, when we use the SDLC model, that's what I said that before explaining the concept. So how can we choose the model for the project? which model suits for the particular one, right? So if the requirements are not changing frequently and application is not complicated and big and project is too short and requirements are clear and environment should be stable, that is nothing but the technology what we are using and all those things, and technology tools used are not dynamic and its stable is nothing but it should not be changed dynamically through the codes, and resources are available and trained. So because the requirements are fixed, right? So we can make the resource are available and trained. That's the only thing what we have from the SDLC waterfall model. So, and if you see here, you can see the advantages and disadvantages also. Before the next phase of the development, each phase must be completed. That is the one of the advantage we have, because requirement analysis is there, feasibility study is there, design coding and all these parts is there. Once you came to the design part, before two phases like feasibility and requirement collection should be completed, because it's not possible to come to the down if above steps is not completed. Okay. And what is the disadvantage? That error can be fixed during that phase only. So for example, there is an error in the designing phase, you should fix it in the design phase only, because once you come down to the other phase, it's not possible to go back even if you want to change some design, right? That's one of the disadvantages. And it will be suited for only small project because it's a fixed requirements, right? So it's not desirable for the big project. That is the advantage. The point which we have in the advantage, vice versa, will be a disadvantage for the waterfall model. They should perform the quality assurance test before completing each test. What is meant by quality assurance test? So can anyone tell the generic meaning of the verification and validation differences? A generic meaning, I don't want to make ask different one. I'm asking a just generic meaning.
The products meeting some this one.
No. The
The
difference between
product
the
meeting the
verification and
regulation.
validation. It's a generic meaning. I'm asking that in English. I'm not asking exactly in the QA part.
Okay, so verification means just checking the things like what are the things it will be like checking the designs, documents, anything. And coming to
Okay.
validation, we are doing I mean validating that we are testing the actual product. There.
Yeah, exactly. Correct one. So I will give an example that there is a traffic police, and when you are going through the bike, he just stopped you. Okay, and he asked that do you have RC book and license and all other things. Okay, you are just showing that the RC book and license from a from somewhat some distance. Okay, so yeah, he can imagine that yeah, you have that RC book and license. That is called verification. He's just checking that you have that RC book and license. That's it. That is called verification. Validation is nothing but the traffic police is going to take your RC book and license and he is going to validate that it belongs to you, or else that is that license is expired or not, and everything in detail they are going to check. Okay, so is nothing but they are going to compare their expected output with the actual output, is call it as a validation. Verification means just checking that that particular feature is there or not. That's it. Okay. Disadvantage means testing period comes a quite late in the development process, because it will come step by step, right? It's not a parallel one, sequential one. Okay. And elaborate documentation is done at every phase of the software development life cycle. And disadvantage means documentation occupies a lot of time for the developers and testers. Okay, these are the major advantages and disadvantages we have for the waterfall model. Okay, so hope you clear about the waterfall model.
Yes, sir.
Oh, cool. And these are also the same as small points what we have. And spiral model is a one of the iterative model we can see in the tomorrow session. Hope you guys are clear with the waterfall model, right? Just go through the waterfall model. So once the institute created a WhatsApp group, I will share this entire document, that manual concepts document to you guys. When you are confirmed your slots with the institute, they will create a WhatsApp group, and I think they already created, and they will make you to join into that group, and after that I'm going to share the material to you. Okay, clear? Sapna, Akila, Kashyap.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
if
sir.
you have any doubts you can ask me now.
So in the waterfall method, suppose there are some five requirements to be there, and we are doing the testing. Okay.
Okay.
So suppose one requirement we got a defect.
Okay.
Okay, it's like suppose it's not taking the suppose there is a checkbox or it will be a text box for the particular requirement, and we need to ensure whether the user is able to click the checkbox or able to enter the data in the uh, test date or test box. So suppose if it is not able to do, generally we will raise a defect for that one. As the user is not able to do that particular things. In that scenario, they will generally fix the defect and we can do that one, or we need to come from the starting. Like suppose there is a application suppose there is a form testing is there. In the 50th page, we will get a defect. So suppose instead of doing from the first, directly we can go to the fifth, or we need to do start from the first page onwards.
If it is a requirement change, then you should start from scratch again. If the model is completely different, that's why I'm telling that if the requirements are fixed and stable, then only we can use this one.
Okay, but if so, suppose there is a version change, like something, then we need to do from the scratch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Okay, so
old, the code which you have written only will work, but the process will start from scratch again.
okay, so continue to that question only. So if you find any bug in test, so we have to start once the bug is fixed, then we have to start the process from the starting, like the first
No,
step.
bug is different. No, no, no. Bug
Okay,
is different. Here, requirement
okay,
change is different. Bug means the requirement is same, but we have an issue with some feature. It's nothing
okay.
but the
In that
coding
case,
or something wrong. That like error, bug or failure, it may be human error, like developer
okay.
error, right?
So in that case, from where we on which step we got the error from that process, you can start the test
Yeah,
case again.
exactly.
Okay.
So sir, one more doubt. So suppose there is a one requirement, and there will be addition of a particular scenario to the requirement. Okay. So in
Okay.
that scenario, we need to do again the from the starting, or we just need to do that additional scenario.
Sorry, I didn't get. Come back again.
No, no. So suppose there will be one requirement in that there are some 5 points. An additional
Okay.
1 point has been added to the particular requirement.
Okay.
So in
Yeah,
that
we should
scenario,
start from scratch in that scenario. We are adding a new
okay,
feature, right?
yeah, new feature. So
Yeah.
instead of so suppose there are 5 features and one more feature has been added. So in that
Yeah.
scenario, we have to test the 5 features again.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just asking, sir, do we need
Yes,
to
yes.
check the only future, or we need to check again the five plus one, 6 features
Again
again?
that 5 because it will get affected, right?
Yeah, okay. High level testing or detailed testing, I mean, should be done, sir, in that scenarios.
High level testing should be enough. But we
Okay.
should,
We have to just ensure whether this new requirement should not broke the previous requirement. I mean,
yeah,
new
like a
changes should
regression
not
testing,
affect
we
the
can call
previous
it. Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Okay. Smoke testing and regression testing should be done in that scenarios, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But as per the cost effective, see this waterfall model is not good in this case then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it is a fixed requirement, then it will be a good model.
This one will be the good one.
Yeah.
Okay. But there are the chances to change the requirement also right now. Like,
No, for example, if it is any government applications, the government
ah,
application won't change the requirements frequently. There will be a simple interface will be there, and
okay.
there will be constant features will be there because they are not promoting their businesses, right? Government sites are like it's usually for the common people mainly. That's right. They won't concentrate more to increase their sales in the government. Okay, we already have on that some trust on the government, then we can follow that government even they are not changing anything. requirements until unless it's required.
Okay. Got it.
Clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay,
Yes,
then
sir, clear.
fine. Thank you guys for joining. Please try to join on time from every day. From tomorrow onwards, we can start a session at 7:30 exactly. So please try to be there by 7:30. Okay. So have a nice day. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Have a nice day too.